Welcome, everybody, to Davis Field on the campus of North Allegheny High School here in Wexford as we're ready for this Class 2A first-round game between the Frazier Commodores, the number 3 seed in the Class 2A bracket, and number 14 seed Riverside Panthers. I'm Mon Valley Independent Sports Editor Jeremy Salou, joined here on my left by Assistant Sports Editor Jose Negron.
Good to be here, Jeremy.
Good to be here. We've been here a while, though.
We have. It's been a long day. We were here for the Sarah Catholic and Olsh game earlier today, and now we're here for another matchup between a local team. The Frazier Commodores coming in 14-3 overall, the 3rd seed in the 2A bracket against number 14 Riverside, 8-5 overall, and going to be a good first-round matchup here at North Allegheny.
I don't know if it's just Donnie Hartman. Always a little worried. He is a little bit aware of Riverside, says their pitcher, Miss Rosenberger, good from the left-hand side, worries him a little bit. But other than that, talking to the assistant coaches, he thinks the Commodores will be just fine here in this matchup. Looking ahead as they finish lining the field here, 93 minutes past the scheduled time. The other games we've seen today have gone a little over. We'll give you the starting lineups here for this one quickly before we talk about the other games. Look, we got company. Before we talk about the other games, though, let's give the starting lineups for this game. It will be for Riverside, Mia Williams, the DP, leading off, followed by center fielder Taryn Schmidt, followed by second baseman Aaliyah Ottavani. Sydney Hale will bat cleanup, playing left field. Samantha Rosenberger, the pitcher, will bat 5th. Emma Beecham, the first baseman, will bat 6th, followed by Braylee Zappia in right field. Maddie Fryer will do the catching and bat 8th, and Stormy Fetter, the shortstop, who my daughter likes her name, by the way, number 33, will bat 9th. And I believe you have the third baseman is
Carly Crawford.
Crawford will be flexed out of the lineup, but she will be playing third. For the Commodores, the home team in the first base dugout, Jensen Hartman will lead off, playing catcher. Number 18, Madison Bednar, the second baseman, will bat second, followed by shortstop Tori Wyszynski, number 10. Riley Evans, the cleanup hitter, playing first base, followed by Delaney Warnick, the third baseman, batting 5th. Maria Felsher is the center fielder, batting 6th. Abby Scott, the DP, will bat 7th. Claire DeMoncas in left field, and Skylar Hahn, the right fielder. And flexed out is the starting pitcher, Nicole Palmer, the freshman, and another big spot here for the Commodores.
Yeah, we've talked about it all season long, how she is, played like a veteran pitcher in that circle all season. 10-game winning streak for Frazier, and I believe she's 10-0 this season for the Commodores. And, Logan Hartman, a very illustrious high school career, 4 years here at Frazier, won a couple Whitfield championships, a state title, goes on to star at Seton Hill, and now Madison Bednar and Nicole Palmer have turned into stars here for the Commodores.
And Coach Donnie Hartman has said many times that Palmer reminds him of his daughter Logan a lot, and he likes the relationship they're building, the way they talk pitching, they talk the game. He's really excited. But you're right, Nicole Palmer is 10-0 on the season. She's allowed only 15 runs, but only 6 earned. And with 83 Ks compared to only 6 walks on the season. So, and like Hartman said in one of the games that we covered earlier this season for Frazier, she is not a freshman, she's a pitcher. So high hopes here for Hartman and Palmer. So I know you just finished up your story. Why don't you take us through the first game of the day that we watched? Yeah,
pretty back and forth affair. Olsh able to survive for an 8-7 victory. Walks in a late pass ball. Hot Sarah Catholic in their loss, trying to complete a upset of sorts. The number 13 seed in this 2A bracket, and they just couldn't hang on against the number 4 Chargers. A 4-run 6th inning for Olsh, and then they were able to get that 1 run that they need in the 7th. But kudos to Sarah Catholic for the effort. They came in and energized. They came in ready, and they hung with the 4th best team according to seeding in the classification.
Yeah. And the biggest key there was the pitching change. I think and I'm sure Coach Williman had a comment about that. But,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing to shake your head at. I know they were also missing a player,
Yeah.
Chloe Honick. So great season by Sarah Catholic, and they had Olsh on the ropes looking for that upset. So, Olsh moves on to play the winner of the Shenango Fort Cherry game.
Yeah.
I don't have the results of that one. We just got done watching the number 2 seed Laurel. 6-2?
6-2.
6-2 over the 15 seed Steel Valley, and the reporters in us were like, "Oh man, that should be a pretty quick game." But Steel Valley, give them credit, man. They played great defense. Laurel hit the ball hard every single time they got a bat on the ball, and Steel Valley just played great defense. They scored a couple runs there late. But, it was a little too late.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, two really good games coming into this one, and should expect a pretty good one here. I'm sure that Riverside would like to follow what Sarah Catholic did earlier today and make this a game.
Have taken the field, and lost in the shuffle as the Commodores are the defending state champion in Class 2A. So Riverside, has a big chance here as Palmer's first pitch is outside for ball 1.
Palmer getting her first taste of playoff action.
I'm sure there's a little nerves associated with it.
Yep, sure. Now we have a 2-0 count early on here.
Ball 2 down low for the freshman here. The battery again for Frazier, Jensen Hartman the catcher, and Nicole Palmer in the circle. 2-1 pitch. It's called strike on the outside part of the plate. And you'll notice our video stream here by producer Chad Corrado. We got 3 cameras on the field of play. So we got you covered from all angles here on MVI Live on the Trib High School Sports Network. We appreciate the Trib, taking us on as affiliate, and let us get to follow some of our teams as well here in the playoffs as Williams fouls that one off. Make it a 2-2 count. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Palmer. Popped up. Lots of foul ground, and Hartman comes out of the crouch and makes the catch for the first out of the game.
Next up, number 19.
Great catch there by Jensen Hartman. Great athleticism to get out of her crouch and catch that ball.
A nice job by Palmer being able to get that count back to 2-2 after 2 straight balls, and nice pop-up in foul territory for the first out.
Now to be Taryn Schmidt stepping in, takes strike 1, and so much for the nerves from Palmer now. She's ready to go. The lights are on here at Davis Field. Eager to see. That one's down and in. Eager to see. I mean, it's a beautiful facility here. I'm eager to see what it looks like under the lights.
Yeah, and thought that maybe this one would finish under the lights, but might get most of this.
There's strike 2.
Most of this one done in prime time. You can call it prime time.
Yeah, it's prime time for sure. 1-2 pitch from Palmer. Up high, swing and a miss, strike 3. Palmer with her first strikeout of the day. And she catches Schmidt on the rise.
Great pitch there by Palmer. And, we talked about the last game that we covered at Frazier against Carmichael's. Palmer got into some jams. She gave up 2 runs early in the first inning.
Cruise control from there, though.
Yeah, from there on, she was just dominant. And from the start here, aside from those 2 balls on that first hitter, and now starts out with a 1-0 count here to Aaliyah Odaviani.
1-0 pitch just off the outside part of the plate. It's 2-0 on Aaliyah Odaviani. And that one just missed off the outside part of the plate as well. 3-0. Palmer going to have to battle back here. She wants to sit the Panthers down in order. There's one right down the turnpike there for strike 1. become a familiar friend of the Turnpike the last couple days.
Yeah, Fox Chapel trip
Fox
yesterday.
Chapel yesterday. There's one popped up on the infield. Riley Evans is going to let it go foul.
The veteran intelligence there of Riley Evans to let that one go. Not
very smart play because Bednar was late getting to the bag at first from her position at second base. So, smart play.
A younger player might charge after that and with maybe too much eagerness to get there. And Evans, the wherewithal to know that's going to go out of bounds.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Palmer sits the Panthers down in order in the top of the first inning with 2 Ks. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Panthers. Commodores coming up here in the bottom of the first. And it'll be Jensen Hartman, Madison Bednar, and Tori Wyszynski. Hartman comes into this game batting .491 with 7 doubles, 2 homers, and 17 RBIs. From the leadoff spot, and it's not a common thing to have a catcher leading off in your lineup.
No, and Hartman's done a really good job out of that leadoff spot, being able to get on base. She's shown some power as well. And this is a really powerful lineup. We talk about, Hartman, but you got, Riley Evans, who's a big power threat out of the cleanup spot. You got Delaney Warnick there in the 5 spot, and even, Tori Wyszynski at the 3, in the 3 hole has, shown some ability to go yard as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if that power can rear its head against Samantha Rosenberger.
It's a little bit different. I don't think the Commodores have faced very many lefties here this season. And, like most softball games, that's the thing is, once you see her the first time up, the second time through the order is when you really want to see your team get their timing down. And I saw it yesterday, South Allegheny, they beat Valley, and Valley's pitcher wasn't throwing very hard. And it took South Allegheny, who's a very heavy-hitting team, it took them a while to get their timing. I don't know if they ever really got it. There weren't too many hard-hit balls. They did win that game 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, even today, Sarah Catholic, they had the first time through the lineup only 1 hit.
Here's Hartman stepping in now for the Commodores. She looks at strike 1.
I think we're going to see that quite often, that these Frazier hitters aren't going to be swinging at that first pitch. They're going to take some patient approaches, something that has really improved as the season has gone on.
Just off the outside. It's now 1-1. There's one popped up out of play here behind the Riverside dugout. Makes it 1-2. And Hartman, he was looking at the stats before the game. I think she's only struck out like maybe 4 times this season. It's a very tough out, which is why she's in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, and I think, as a catcher, you know what the strike zone's going to be like. And
there's another one fouled back here to the woods. 1-2.
I think being the daughter of the coach probably helps out a little.
Well,
bit, I think.
We saw it last game against Carmichael's. She's under an even bigger microscope than a lot of these other girls wearing red today, that's for sure. There's a shot. Nice snag there by the third baseman, Carly Crawford, to get Hartman at first, and nothing you could do there if you're Hartman. That was a heck of a play there by the Riverside third baseman.
Yeah, hard hit ball. I thought that was going to maybe
took a real high bounce.
Yeah, it took a really high bounce. Thought that was going to get overhead, but a remarkable play there to get out number 1 here in this inning. Carly Crawford, great glove work there.
Now it's Madison Bednar, the second baseman, takes down low for ball 1. And that's what you're going to need. We saw it in the last game with Laurel and Still Valley. If you're one of those lower-seeded teams, if you're going to beat a team like a Frazier or a Laurel, you got to play good defense.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that from Steel Valley. That's why they, like you said earlier, that's why they were able to stick with them for as long as they did, and very good defensive effort.
Bednar takes a strike near the top of the zone. 1-1. There's a shot off the glove of the second baseman, Ottavani, and Bednar is on with a single.
Number 10, the shortstop.
For the first hit of the ball game here for the Commodores.
Brings up Tori Wyshynski, the shortstop. Another veteran presence here in this Commodores lineup.
Wyshynski batting .393 so far this season. 1 home run, 13 RBIs. And there's a high fly ball down the right field line. Right fielder reaches over the fence. Great play by Zappia to take one away for the second out.
You mentioned it, Jeremy. Great defense here in the first inning by Riverside. Brings up the power hitting threat in the cleanup spot, first baseman Riley Evans.
And Riley Evans probably hit the hardest home run I've seen this year in that game against Carmichaels.
Yeah.
Takes ball one down low.
And, we think we've talked about it so much, how she has made a conscious effort to not just try and hit home runs, just try to hit to all fields. And it's really, really has made her a better hitter.
There's a swing and a miss, little foul tip for the first strike. 1-1 on the Commodores cleanup hitter, Riley Evans. Comes in batting .519, leading the team. 5 home runs, 29 RBIs. There's a hard shot up the middle. Bednar holds up at second base, and 2 ducks on the pond here for the Commodores.
Not a great pitch to hit there.
No, she went up and got it.
Evans went up and got it and made a nice swing there. And runners on first and second here for third baseman Delaney Warnick.
One of these COVID freshmen, we like to call them sophomores.
Commodores.
There's one. She golfed it foul down the third base line, and that was, Coach Hartman said that was the turning point for Warnick. That game against Charleroi, I think she was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and a weak pop-up. I mean, she was really frustrated there, and that was a turning point. They had the week off that it rained all week, and she did a lot of good work in the cage. There's a hard hit to second base, throw over to first by Fetter, gets Warnick to get the Panthers out of the inning. No runs on 2 hits, 2 left on base for the Commodores as we head to the top of the second here, scoreless at Davis Field.
We'll take a second here, Jeremy, to thank some of our wonderful sponsors of MVI Live. Of course, thank you to the Treble High School Sports Network for, like you said, their affiliation with MVI Live and the Mon Valley Independent. But we want to thank one of our lovely sponsors of the Valley Sports Guys podcast, Perked Up Cafe in Charleroi. There are a few places that offer the atmosphere, locally sourced ingredients, and an experience like no other than Perked Up Cafe, located at 530 McCain Avenue in Charleroi. Perked Up Cafe offers coffee from La Prima Espresso Company, a local Pittsburgh area roaster. Serving breakfast, lunch, quick pick-me-up snacks, and freshly baked pastries, Perked Up Cafe serves candied bacon, homemade sandwiches and salads, fresh baked oatmeal, as well as gluten-free options. Wi-Fi available on-site and always willing to support the community and give back. Perked Up Cafe is a proud sponsor of the Valley Sports Guys podcast and local high school sports. Let them know we sent you. Speaking of Valley Sports Guys podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be back at Perked Up Cafe this Sunday.
We will.
Took a little break this past Sunday, but I'll be back as well. Got a lot to discuss.
We do. We have a lot to discuss. We'll obviously be recapping all of today's action. 10 games on the Valley slate tonight, and we will have 8 of those in tomorrow's edition of the Mon Valley Independent, so check that out. We might be up late tonight, but we'll get it to you, I promise. As Sydney Hale steps in, the left fielder, against Palmer, and takes strike 1. This has been one of the keys for Palmer this year that we've seen too is she won't back down. She's not afraid of any hitter. She attacks the strike zone, obviously with only 6 walks, this whole season. As Hale lines one over the head of the right fielder, Skylar Hahn, and there goes Hale pulling in the second with a double. She might want to pitch around Hale later.
Perhaps, yeah.
The pitcher,
But this is where
Samantha Rosenberg.
we'll see what Palmer can do here. Runner in scoring position, no outs, and the middle of Riverside's lineup coming up here with Samantha Rosenberger.
The lefty steps in against Palmer and takes a strike.
Oh, one from Palmer.
Fouled back towards us here. 0-2. The last game for the Panthers was a 6-4 win over Blackhawk, and we saw Sydney Hale there with the double. She was 2 for 3 against the Cougars with a double and 2 RBIs. Rosenberg swings and misses at the high pitch.
Next up, number 3, Emma Beecham.
For strike 3 in the first out of the inning, and now it'll be Emma Beecham, the first baseman.
Great 0-2 pitch there by Palmer. Getting Rosenberger to fish at something out of the zone.
And that one just low from Palmer. 1-0. Takes a strike there, 1-1. One pitch from Palmer, swing and a miss, strike 2, and this is very similar to when Frazier played Charleroi. It was a close game. What, 2-0 that game was?
2-1.
2-1, and Charleroi could not lay off that high pitch, and there's a strike 3 looking by Palmer, and another strikeout. That's 4 already here in the first 2 innings, and Coach Hartman just kind of gave me a little smile when I say, is that something you wanted to do, and keep making them chase those high pitches, and you simply said if they're not going to stop swinging at it, we're not going to stop throwing it. As Braylee Zappia steps in now. Takes a ball. Hale awaits out on second base. There's ball 2 down low. Zappia in the last half inning made a great catch, reaching over the fence on a foul ball. There's ball 3 down low. And see if Palmer can battle back from a 3-0 deficit once again, as Zappia is way ahead here. And there's ball 4. Only the 7th walk issued of the season for Nicole Palmer.
I don't think many of them have been on 4 pitches.
Yeah.
Maddie Fryer.
Now it's the catcher, Maddie Fryer, stepping in as she takes the shin guards off and heads to the box.
You talk about, Jeremy, the fact that Cole Palmer's not intimidated out there. I think she intimidates the hitters when she throws that ball into the mitt right before she throws a pitch.
There's a strike. 0-1 on the Panthers catcher.
Right there.
We got a timeout taken here as Fryer will head down, see her first base coach.
Opportunity for Palmer to regroup with her infield. Runners on first and second here. 2 outs in the second inning, all tied, all scoreless here after 1.
And we're ready to go here after the little timeout they're taken. 0-1 count on Maddie Fryer. She lays off the high pitch. Evens the count at 1-1. Palmer finds the grip, and there's a pop-up foul out of play here behind the backstop. 1 and 2. Palmer way ahead on Fryer.
Palmer definitely slowed that one down.
We'll see what. Very similar to we were talking about Sarah pitcher Lexi Fight. She hides that grip.
Very deceptive with it.
She doesn't have the real big extended windup like I saw yesterday from South Allegheny's Brina Komarniski. You know, she's very compact in her delivery, and it is deceptive. 2-2. Outside, ball 3.
Big pitch coming up here from Nicole Palmer. Full count, 3-2 to Maddie Fryer.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Palmer wants the signs again, and Fryer's going to call time. Take a little practice hack here. 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Change up off the glove. Wyszynski over to first. Off the glove of Palmer, right to Tori Wyszynski, the old 1-6-3 put out to get out of the inning.
Just as they planned it.
Just as they planned it. And that's not the first time we've seen that happen to Frazier. It was that first Charleroi game.
It happened twice, I believe, in that.
Twice in that game. So, you know, that's one way that you end up winning a game, too, is you get the bounces, and that first one here goes to Frazier. So, no runs on 1 hit, 2 left on there for Riverside as we head to the bottom of the second. It'll be center fielder Maria Felcher, DP Abby Scott, and left fielder Claire DeMonkus coming up here for the Commodores. It might be bright out here. Maria Felcher still has her sunglasses on.
And you mentioned that Charleroi game. What can we say about the way Maria Felcher was able to come in at second base? Came up big defensively, had a good offensive game as well. And Jeremy, you mentioned that Carmichael's game, how that kind of was the huge game for Riley Evans and Delaney Warnick.
Yeah, and Felcher also hit a home run.
And Felcher also hit a home run in that game. Evans went 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs, a home run in that contest. Warnick also went 3 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs. That 4 and 5 spot for Frazier, that's going to be key for them in this game. It's just being able to produce runs out of that spot.
And not just in this game, it's going to be key for them throughout this playoffs if they want to make a run. And it's going to start with Hartman at the top of the lineup. And, you know, the 3-4 girls have to do their job. Is when those girls in front of them get on, they got to knock them in. And so far they have. I mean, Evans and Warnick have combined for 46 RBIs this year. So they've done the job so far as Felcher looks at strike 1.
And we can't even say, you know, Abby Scott's going to be big too.
Right.
I mean, you know, in that Carmichael's game, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. You know, she came up big out of that number 7 spot in the lineup.
Yeah, she's a player that her confidence has definitely grown. Felcher takes ball 1 outside as the Nats are now on attack here at the media table. The 1-1 pitch. There's a little dribbler back to Rosenberger. Throws high, but she did hold the foot. Good job there by Emma Beecham
Designated player, number 28,
to hold her foot on that play.
Scott.
1-3 on the putout.
Everybody kind of held their breath on that throw there.
The umpire took his time to make the call, too. Everybody was like, okay, she's out. Scott, first pitch swinging, fouls one off beyond the dugout. 0-1, and Abby Scott, you mentioned, you know, she's only hitting 172, but she's been really good the last few games. She takes strike 2 on the outside part.
And Frazier really needs production from the bottom of this lineup.
Without a doubt.
You know, especially, you know, from that 9 spot with Skylar Hahn being able to get it back to Jensen Hartman and Madison Bednar at the top.
0-2 pitch. Ground ball to second. Ottavani is there. Flips over to Beecham for the second out. 4-3 on that put out. That's a good thing for both teams, actually. So, well, not as good for Riverside, but right now the Commodores are making contact. So, you know, once they fine-tune that timing, the second time through the lineup could be interesting as freshman Claire DeMonka steps in. There's a shot off the glove of the first baseman, and that's a fair ball. And DeMonkus is on with a single.
Big hit there for Claire DeMonkus. I know that she's had her struggles this season, but
Yes.
if she can actually get something going as well, that's big for this Frazier lineup.
She brings good speed as well to the lineup. Skylar Hahn now steps in. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. There's a ground ball right back to Rosenberger, over to first to Beecham for the out. And no runs on 1 hit, 1 left on for the Commodores. But if you're head coach Donnie Hartman, you have to like the fact that your bottom of the order made some contact for you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you have to like what they were able to do there in those few at bats, and you mentioned it earlier, getting through the lineup the first time. It'll take some adjustments here. Now the second time through, you can maybe get timed up a little bit better at the plate. So, got to be happy with the kind of what he was able to see there from the bottom of the lineup.
For sure. So we get ready to head to the third. We'll thank another one of our sponsors.
Yeah. Have you ever had a muscle pain that just will not go away? An ache that affects your day, or stiffness that impairs your abilities at work or play? The Salon and Spa by Cheney's Natural in Monongahela offers several options to help you look and feel your best. From massage and spa treatments to essential oils, CBD, and other healthy living items, hair, facials, mani-pedis, and reflexology are also available. Cheney's Natural also carries skincare products by Farmhouse Fresh. Make an appointment online at cheneysnatural.com or by calling 724-328-2834.
Get ready here for the top of the third. Stormy Fetter, the shortstop, steps in. Takes a strike. And there's strike 2. There's a swing and a miss. 3 pitches is all Palmer needs to get Fetter. And now we're back to the top of the lineup. Mia Williams. She was also big in the Panthers' win over Blackhawk. 2 for 3 with a double and 2 runs scored.
Same thing here now for Riverside. They've seen Nicole Palmer each one time now. Get a feel for what she brings.
And 1-0. Here's Palmer's 1-0 pitch up high again. Swing and a miss. 1-1. The Riverside faithful behind us a little frustrated that they can't catch up to that rise ball. There's a shot towards center field, and that's going to roll to the wall. Felsher in quickly to Wyszynski to the cutoff, and there's a double for Williams.
Second time through. See if the top of the order can generate some offense and manufacture the game's first runs. As Taryn Schmidt comes to the plate, struck out swinging in her first at bat in the first inning.
2 hits now for the Panthers, with Williams here on second with 1 out here in the inning. Schmidt takes a strike. Oh, 1 pitch coming from Palmer. Another high pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And, Riverside can't lay off that rise ball.
You see Warnick playing in here at third.
0-2, high pitch again. Swing and a miss.
If it ain't broke.
Absolutely.
6 strikeouts now for Nicole Palmer. She has 2 strikeouts per inning here through 3.
I think all 6 of them have come on a rise ball. Now it's Aaliyah Ottavani Swing and a miss on the first pitch. CC's 0-1. You could definitely see Palmer's a lot more comfortable once she gets that first pitch strike. And we see it from, Elizabeth Ford's, Kaylee Larseny's, it's pivotal. Coach Harry Rutherford wants her ahead of almost every batter she faces.
And it's pretty unreal how many batters she does get ahead of. And, it's been, I think, a key for Nicole Palmer's success this year as a freshman.
Ottavani fouled one back to make it 0-2. She laid off that one.
A little too high on that one.
A little bit. That was higher than the rest, so. Let's see what she can do here now. 1-2 coming from Nicole Palmer. Strike 3 looking. The freshman comes back again after the double by Williams. And Palmer has the strikeout pitch working for sure. 7
strikeouts through 3 innings. And, what can you say? She gives up the 1-out double and then doesn't even pay attention to the runner on second.
And I know.
Puts it completely behind her.
And I know we're not in the box. But compared to some other pitchers we saw, Palmer's not that overpowering. It's just she hits her spots with every single pitch. No matter what pitch she throws, she's hitting that spot. So
and she does a really good job of mixing her pitches and just trusting the pitch calls that are being called by Dawn Hartman over in that Frazier dugout.
We get ready here for the bottom of the third. It'll be the top of the Frazier order. Jensen Hartman, Madison Bednar, and Tori Wyszynski. Numbers 1, 2, 3.
Going to the bottom of the third inning, the catcher, number 33, Jensen Hartman.
Got to give a big shout out to the Trib as well for helping us out with some of the coverage of our local teams. Yeah, what do we say? 10 games involving local teams, and we're going to have 8 game stories in tomorrow's edition. So thank you to the Trib and Bill Hartlip. Hartman fouls that one off the mask of Fryer.
Very thankful for the partnership that we have with the Trib.
Without a doubt, we get a lot of compliments of how great our sports section looks every week and every day, and a lot of people are very happy with the coverage we bring to our local athletes, but we also couldn't do it without the help from the Trib.
Not at all.
There's a hard shot in the left field by Hartman, and she is on with a leadoff single, and she hit that one on the sweet spot.
Setting the tone at the top of the lineup, Jensen Hartman.
The second baseman, Madison Bednar.
Jensen Hartman, the official favorite player of Kenzie Salou. Had a big game. Congrats to my kiddo. Her game today had a double. Some 8U softball action. Ross Draver beats Mount Pleasant.
We have a little bit of a celebratory.
There's a ground ball back to Rosenberger. Hartman will reach second. So I guess it's just as good as a bunt.
Yeah, it does the job.
Move the runner up.
We have a little bit of a celebration that Kenzie's going to do for her next base hit.
Hopefully.
That you were there for. So.
Right. She did play great today, so congratulations, kiddo. Daddy's happy.
She's going to ignore the unwritten rules.
Oh, she will learn. She will.
Strike one to Wyszynski.
Strike on the outside part of the plate there from Rosenberger. And I think it's safe to say Hartman definitely has her timing on the lefty now after that last base hit. But 0-1 on Tori Wyszynski. There's a swing and a miss.
Great pitch there by Rosenberger. Puts Wyszynski in a 0-2 hole.
Big out here. Runner on scoring position here is Hartman on second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to short. And Hartman halfway. That's an infield single for Wyszynski. I think
a little bit of hesitation.
Hartman kind of distracted Feder there. And that's going to go down as a hit.
Well, that little bit of hesitation allows Wyszynski, who has some good speed, to reach.
Sure she might end up here at second on this within the first couple pitches here.
This is right where the situation that Riley Evans loves. Opportunity to be a run producer here.
And there goes Wyszynski. Defensive indifference.
Your favorite play.
It is. As Rosenberger very careful there with Evans. Doesn't want to give her anything up in the zone, obviously. Ball one was down low. The St. Francis commit. Riley Evans. There's a ground ball right back to Rosenberger. Checks Hartman, and now we got a problem. There goes Hartman. She's going to score. Nobody there, and Wyszynski's going to head to third. Nobody covered the plate on the rundown, and the Commodores are on the board. And Evans is going to get an RBI.
Just as she planned.
Yeah.
Great job there by Jensen Hartman. Stay in that rundown and to have the wherewithal to know that nobody was covering home plate there.
I guess we got to give an error for Wyszynski at third, right?
Yeah, the throw did get away.
On the first base.
Maybe a ball outside on
We're going to give it to Beecham on the throw.
2-0 count on the Commodores' third baseman.
Sorry, that error was on the third baseman. I'll have to correct that. Now it's Warnick. 2 outs. Takes down low, ball 2. The Commodores strike first here in the bottom of the third. The winner of this game will play the winner of Chartiers Houston, and I forget who the 11th seed is. That one up high, 3-0 on Warnick.
Great patience here by Delaney Warnick. Grounded out to short her last at bat.
Warnick takes a pitch there.
Jeremy, you mentioned the Commodores are technically the defending state champions in Class 2A.
Yeah. Well, much different team, though.
Much different team.
There's a shot to right, and that's going to bring in Wyszynski. Delaney Warnick with the RBI single to give the Commodores a 2-0 lead. And we talked about that middle of the lineup, Jose.
Yeah, 4-5 hitters and Riley Evans and Delaney Warnick doing exactly what they need to be doing, serving as run producers, and now the Commodores have a 2-0 lead with 2 outs here in the third.
And the biggest player that this really is going to affect is Palmer, because she could relax. Felsher shows bunt, takes a ball.
Not that she wasn't.
Not that she wasn't,
before.
but anytime your team puts runs on the board before the other team, you're usually in a good frame of mind. 1-0 on Maria Felsher. Shows bunt again, doesn't get it down. Warnick takes off and steals second. Another runner in scoring position on the stolen base by Delaney Warnick. Great rotation there by the umpires as well. Got to give the shout out to the blue.
Good umpiring today.
So far, there's a little dribbler to second. Ottavani gets it to Beecham just in time. Felsher is out number 3, but the Commodores put 2 runs on the board. 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error by the Panthers. And the Commodores lead 2-0 heading to the 4th inning.
The 4th inning of play here at North Allegheny is brought to you by the Foster House 2 Sports Bar and Grill, located at One Cook Road in Bell Vernon. Serving their famous king sandwiches 7 days a week, the Foster House 2 also now serves pizza and pizza burgers all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come enjoy one of their 12 ice-cold beers on draft, along with a wide variety of bottled beer, mixed drinks, and frozen margaritas. The Foster House 2 has the perfect atmosphere for enjoying great food and drinks with friends and family while watching all your favorite sporting events on their big screen TVs. Foster House 2 is proud to support all the local sports teams throughout the Mon Valley. Come and see them for a great time today.
I love the Foster House.
Big fans of those at the Foster House. We appreciate their support of MVI Live and the Mon Valley Independent.
I'm starting to regret the decision of not going to eat with you guys.
We did hit up Slice on Broadway here near North Allegheny High School, and some delicious slices in between games.
Sydney Hale, who doubled in her first at bat, steps in to face the freshman Nicole Palmer here. And there's another shot to center. Felsher is going to let it bounce. And Hale is on with a single on the first pitch of the inning.
Yeah, 2 for 2 for Sydney Hale. Second time today that she has led off the inning with a hit. Brings up the pitcher Samantha Rosenberger. And see here if Riverside can quickly respond to the 2-run inning by Frazier.
And it's a big inning both offensively for Riverside and defensively for Frazier. There's a bunt fielded by Palmer over to first with Bednar covering for the first out. The sacrifice bunt laid down by Rosenberger. She did her job there.
He did mention, Jeremy, that the winner of this game will face the winner of Apollo Ridge, Char Houston, on Monday.
And we've got to give a shout out to an Apollo Ridge player, former Bell Vernon player Casey Waitman, now throwing javelin, won a Whippeal title today for Apollo Ridge.
Yeah, a lot of WPIL champions in the Valley, and Casey is a former Bell Vernon student who, I believe she finished second in the Jav last year, or 2 years ago.
To Spurnack, yes.
To Bree Spurnack.
There's a hard shot to right field, and that's down in the corner. DeMoncas tracks it down. Hale is going to score, and there's a double for Beecham down the right field line.
There's the response. A nice double by Emma Beecham. Brings in Sydney Hale easily, and Riverside gets on the board and cuts that deficit to 2-1. Big opportunity here for Braylee Zappia, who walked in the second inning.
Also give a shout out to Bell Vernon's Dane Anden, Whippeal championship in the high jump. Cleared 6'3".
Wow.
To win Whippeal gold. So he'll be heading to the state meet. Zappia takes strike one. There it gets a bunt down. Warnick all over it. Throw in the dirt. Good scoop there by Bednar to get the out.
I think that pick there by Bednar might have saved a run from scoring.
Oh, for sure, without a doubt.
Low throw there by Warnick, and a great job by the second baseman Bednar covering first to get the out. 2 outs and a runner on third. Brings up Maddie Fryer.
There's a ground ball. Hard shot to Bednar, and makes the catch on the line drive. Maddie Bednar said might have saved a run there as well on back-to-back plays. So at the end of the inning, it is 2-1 Commodores leading the Panthers after the Panthers strike back with 1 run on 2 hits. No errors on the Commodores defense. 2-1 as we get ready to head to the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Abby Scott, Claire DeMoncas, and Skylar Hahn for the Commodores, as the Panthers have cut the lead in half.
Jeremy, I wouldn't be surprised if, as we continue on here, we see more and more runs scored with these offenses just getting,
for sure,
getting to see these two pitchers and getting their timing right. Great job by Riverside to be able to respond with a run and cut it to 2-1.
Let's talk a little bit about this facility up here at North Allegheny, guys. It's absolutely amazing, right?
It is. It's a beautiful facility. It's a little far from the parking, though.
Yeah, true.
A little far. That's a hike.
We thank those here at North Allegheny for their hospitality. It's been a long day of having us around, so.
Yes. A little soupy out here earlier today, without a doubt.
Starting off Frazier, the bottom of the fourth. Designated player, 28, Abby Scott.
Abby Scott leads off now, grounded out to second baseman Ottavani in her first at bat. And there's a little spinner to Ottavani again, and throws over to Beecham for the first out. Again, first pitch swinging for Scott.
The left fielder, number 5, Claire DeMoncas.
Now to be Claire DeMoncas, 1 for 1 with a sharp single down the right field line. I know, like you mentioned, any contribution here from the bottom of the order for the Commodores is a very welcomed one. She takes ball 1. I hear DeMoncas has a pretty good hitting coach. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monkus 1-0 pitch. Up high, 2-0.
Great analysis there, Jeremy.
He was. Thank you to Cassie Show for her efforts with my daughter and Mr. Monkus here. So nothing like a trip to Connellsville every weekend to get a Bud Murphy's pizza and, you know.
Still need a Bud Murphy's pizza.
Jason Black, he's going to hook us up. 3-0 pitch coming to DeMonkus. Right down the pike there for strike one, 3-1. DeMonkus with an obvious take situation. Comes a 3-1 pitch. Inside corner, called strike 2. Full count here on Claire DeMonkus, making Rosenberger work a little bit. 3-2. One fouled off into the Frazier section over there. Good at bat here so far for DeMonkus. Clutch decision today to bring the cooler with us as well for our all-day affair.
That was all you. You did a great job in coming up with that decision.
Still have 2 Gatorades in there as well. Ball 4 high. Good take there by DeMonkus on the high pitch. Skylar Hone will come in now. 1 out. DeMonkus on first. Takes a strike down and away. Just in the zone there for Rosenberger.
2 nice at-bats for Claire DeMonkus. Single on her first at-bat and then the walk.
0-1 coming to Skylar Hone. Shows bunt, hit the bat twice. So we'll get a dead ball. Hahn laid one down. One of only 3 players to be part of that state championship team. There's a little looper out into right, but right into the glove of Zappia. Had her played perfectly for the second out.
Again, another, sequence in which these 7, 8, 9 hitters are having some nice at-bats, getting the bat on the ball.
That brings up Hartman. They turn the order over, and if Hartman gets one in the gap here, DeMonkus has good enough speed, she can come home. Hartman takes ball 1 outside. I'm sure after the contact Hartman made at their last at bat, Rosenberger will be a little careful here. There's one skied out to center field. It's high. Schmidt is under it, and she drops it. Here comes DeMonkus around third. Hartman will stop at second. DeMonkus scores on the 2-base error by the center fielder, Taryn Schmidt. And we talked about how important great defense is in games like this. And
Schmidt had it played perfectly, and it just bounces out of the glove and brings up Madison Bednar.
Strike taken there by Bednar, and that's 2 out runs. You know how valuable those are.
Yeah, if you're Frazier, you got to be happy with some more insurance.
They get that run back that they allowed in the top of the inning. And now you have the heart of the lineup coming up as Bednar takes ball 1, and looked almost as if Schmidt closed her glove a little bit too soon on that ball. It looked like it hit the outside of the glove. That ball was a mile high, and it was tailing away from her a little bit. There's a ground ball to second. Ottavani up with it. High to Beecham. She's off the bag. And that's going to be another error, I think, on the throw from Ottavani, pulling Beecham off the bag.
Back-to-back errors now. Put runners on the corners for the Commodores for Tori Wyszynski, who's 1 for 2 with a run scored in an infield single.
And the coaching staff, I'm assuming this is the head coach, will head out to try and calm her team down a little bit. 2 straight errors, as you mentioned, 3 in the game now for the Panthers. And Frazier, you don't get to be a great team without taking advantage of other teams' mistakes.
Yeah, good teams are able to capitalize on those, and the Commodores have been able to do that so far, and now a big opportunity here for Tori Wyszynski to keep this going, as the Commodores have really been given some new life with 2 outs here in this 4th inning.
Through 4 innings, Sarah Catholic leading Fort Cherry 4-2. Max Rocco on the pitch for the Eagles as they head to the 5th. Wyszynski takes ball 1.
A pretty wild year for the Sarah Catholic baseball team. Had to go through a shutdown like a lot of our schools here in this area.
Runners on the corners here. There's a hard hit. That's a base hit into left field, and that's going to score Hartman. Bednar pulls into second on the RBI single from Tori Wyszynski.
Frazier making Riverside pay for those miscues. And hey, Jeremy, guess who the next 2 batters are?
Not who you want to see if you're Samantha Rosenberger.
And there are players in red uniforms on base.
Oh, there's a little dribbler down to third. Up with it is Crawford, throws over to Beecham, and they got Evans to chase on a good pitch there by Rosenberger, and the Panthers get out of the inning. I'm sure Evans will not be happy with herself after that. She's retired 5-3. But for the Commodores in the bottom of the 4th, 2 runs, both unearned, 1 hit, and a couple of errors on the Panthers. As we now head to the top of the 5th, moving right along here at Davis Field. Frazier leading 4-1. Here on MVI Live on the Trib High School Sports Network. So we will thank another one of our sponsors here. Before we get this inning underway, some conversations with Frazier head coach Don Hartman for his Commodores, and they get ready to take the field.
And we will thank our good friends over at Brian Warnick State Farm Agency. If alarms are going off around you, you might want to give State Farm agent Brian Warnick a call. State Farm is a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on home and auto insurance. Give Brian a call at 412-668-0111 for your surprisingly great rates today.
Thank you to Brian Warnick, fellow Frazier alum.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Does he know Jake and Drake? We've been asking. We'll have to ask.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him, for sure.
Stormy Fetter steps in to face Nicole Palmer here. Takes strike 1. Fetter struck out on 3 straight pitches. There's a bunt laid down by Fetter. Foul. Makes it 0-2 quickly here on the number 9 hitter for the Panthers. Fetter takes ball 1. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout there for the freshman Nicole Palmer.
Double on. Designated player, Mia Williams.
8 strikeouts now for Palmer. She didn't get one in that last inning, but has had at least 1 in every other inning.
Be Mia Williams now, who doubled her last time up. There's a off-speed pitch fouled away.
Last time up we saw why Mia Williams is hitting at the top of this order. Nice power into the gap and nice speed. Fouled off.
Hopefully that don't hit us.
If it does, you know.
I'm like
Had
a
a good
typical,
run.
like a typical teenager. My face is in my phone. You know. Mia Williams down 0-2 here to Palmer. 0-2 pitch, roped, foul, just past third base, very close.
Would have been an easy double for Williams had it been fair.
Nah, I'm sure Coach Hartman won't call that pitch again in this at bat at least. I mean, that was very close. very close to coming over that bag.
0-2 to Williams.
There's a ground ball to second. Bednar is there, up over to Evans for the second out of the inning.
Number 19, the center fielder, Taryn Schmidt.
4-3 on the putout. And 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. And you start to wonder, maybe, you know, they're hitting Palmer a little bit. Do we maybe see a save situation here late in the game? That one's popped away foul.
Well, I mean,
it's you know, Coach Hartman has 2 pitchers now, and it's a little bit of a change of pace when Bednar's in there. I think she throws a little bit harder than Palmer does.
Yeah, I think if you have a situation where you want to get Bednar some reps, I don't think it's a bad idea.
Just outside, 1-1 is Schmidt has gone down on strikes twice. She had that big error in the last half inning. It allowed Frazier to score their first run with 2 outs. I think all the runs Frazier has scored today have been with 2 outs. There's one jacked down the left, but it's going to be foul.
She got all of that one.
She did. You know what, though? Goes down as a foul in the book. Don't matter. It could have been a little foul ball back here to us. But she liked that one for sure. 1-2 now on Taryn Schmidt. There's a ground ball to Wyszynski at short. Up with it to Evans for the out. In a 1-2-3 inning, just what the doctor ordered for Nicole Palmer. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Commodores here in the bottom of the 5th as they keep Riverside off the score sheet. And we're heading to the bottom of the 5th. 4-1, Frazier leads. With Delaney Warnick, Maria Felcher, and Abby Scott due up here for the Commodores. Delaney Warnick had a hard-hit single in her last at-bat.
Warnick, one of those young Frazier players, I feel like, Jeremy, in this playoff run, looking to make names for themselves.
Without a doubt.
You know, this team is technically the defending state champions from 2019. But this is a completely new team.
Completely different. And
this
Coach
is a team
Hartman
that
would be the first to tell you that for sure.
And this is a team that you know, they look at, you know, the banners, and they look at, you know, all that senior group accomplished, and they want to do that for themselves. And this is the start of that for them.
And the thing, you know, I'll get to it next half inning. The speech he gave to the Commodores after they beat Carmichael's to win the section title with an unblemished record, it just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
And it was a great post-game talk there from the longtime coach. Warnick fouls that one off, 1-1. You know, he just told him, he said, you know, you get to put that banner up, and that's your legacy now.
Yeah.
You know, you're always going to remember for that. He said, you don't worry about any of those other banners out there. He said, there's only 3 girls that celebrate that big one, you know, so. There's ball 2 down in the dirt.
And I think, you know, seeing what that team accomplished in 2019, that makes this team so much hungrier. You know, it's a young group. Yeah, they're relatively inexperienced with, you know, in the playoffs, but
Warnick fouled deep down the right field line, out of play. She's hanging with it.
I think their eyes are set on getting to Cal U and getting to Penn State.
Absolutely. And to get there, they're going to have to go through some good teams. So
absolutely. They're going through a good team right here.
There's a ground ball on the right side. Ottavani up with it. Throws Warnick out at first for the first out of the inning.
Next up for Frazier, the center fielder, number 35, Maria Felcher.
Maria Felcher 0 for 2 with a pair of ground outs. Once to the pitcher and once to Ottavani at second. Ottavani's been pretty busy here for the Panthers, but she's made every play that she's had the opportunity on.
And, you got to really credit, you got to really credit Rosenberger for the way that she's pitched. I mean, she's given up the 4 runs, but only one of them are earned. She doesn't have any strikeouts, only has walked 1. She's had good command.
There's a little dribbler foul on the third base side.
10 ground outs.
I was going to say, she's got a little bit of ground chuck there. That's to bring up the former Pirates pitcher Charlie Morton. She's keeping the ball down for the most part.
Yeah.
And it's the good hitters that are hitting the ball hard and still able to get those line drives so far.
Yeah, 10 ground outs. She's thrown first pitch strikes to 14 of the 22 players that she's faced.
There's a ground ball, bounces over the head of the third baseman and into left field for a single.
And another ground ball.
Yeah, for Maria Felcher. And that's similar to the first out of the game when Crawford made that great play. Just that one, she was a little bit up too far and it bounced over her head. It wasn't exactly hard hit, but good bounce for the Commodores. That's the second good bounce that's gone their way so far.
I'm looking at the stats for Nicole Palmer through 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Abby Scott now lays off the first pitch, takes strike 1.
14 first pitch strikes for the freshman.
4-1 Commodores lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 0-1 on Abby Scott. Shows bunt, fouls it off. 0-2.
I will tell you, Jeremy, the one thing that I think Donnie Hartman's going to look at after this game, it's not only just the runs on the scoreboard, but the 6 left on base so far through 4 innings.
Yeah, for sure. He's one of them coaches. He's always going to be able to find something to improve on. You can play the perfect game, but he'll find something that he just wants his team to be a little bit better at. And you don't win championships by not doing that. So 0-2, ripped line out right back to Rosenberger, and Felcher is doubled up on first on the 1-3 double play.
Big double play there for Riverside to get out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit. No errors.
As we get ready
and technically no left on base.
No one left on base, that's right. So Hartman will be happy about that. I don't know. But, as we head to the 6th, we'll thank another one of our sponsors here quickly as we get ready for the 3-4-5 hitters. A big inning here coming up for Nicole Palmer on the mound.
Yeah, we will thank once again the host site of the Valley Sports Guys podcast, Perked Up Cafe. There are a few places that offer the atmosphere, locally sourced ingredients, and an experience like no other than Perked Up Cafe, located at 530 McCain Avenue in Charleroi. Perked Up Cafe offers coffee from La Prima Espresso Company, a local Pittsburgh area roaster, serving breakfast, lunch, quick pick-me-up snacks, and freshly baked pastries. Perked Up Cafe serves candied bacon, homemade sandwiches and salads, fresh-baked oatmeal, as well as gluten-free options. Wi-Fi available on site and always willing to support the community and give back. Perked Up Cafe is a proud sponsor of the Valley Sports Guys podcast and local high school sports.
The Ottavani steps in now. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. And there's a swing and a miss on the first pitch there from Palmer. Palmer sitting at 66 pitches. Pretty efficient, both pitchers for the most part. There's a line drive off the second base bag and into center field for a hit. And the Panthers get the leadoff girl on again here in the top of the 6th. And Sydney Hale, single and a double so far.
Hale has been phenomenal here today.
Big at bat here for Palmer and Hale. Takes a ball down lows. Hale has hit the ball hard twice.
Yeah, she scored the lone run of this game for Riverside as well.
And there's a drive to left field. DeMonkus under it, makes the catch. for the first out of the inning, and a good job to keep that runner at first base as well.
Looked good off the bat.
Number 5, Samantha Rosenberg.
Did, and it just kind of died. 1 out now for the Panthers as Rosenberger will step in. There's one foul back towards us.
If it hits me, it hits me. It didn't.
Okay, Rocky 4. If he dies, he dies.
Drago is,
Look, if you get down, I'm just going to shove you under the table. We're going to finish this thing. So
okay.
hopefully there's
Weekend at
there's
Bernie's
trainers
it.
here.
Weekend at Bernie's it.
There's a hard shot into the gap in the left center. That's going to go all the way to the wall as Hahn took a bad angle on it. And here comes Ottavani around third. The throw from Wyszynski. Nobody covered third, and Hartman didn't throw it. And that'll go down as a double, and Rosenberger moves to third on a throw home.
Big at bat there for Samantha Rosenberger. Perfectly into the gap.
Number 3, Emma Beecham.
Ottavani scores easily from first base, and it's a 4-2 ball game with 1 out. And the runner right there at third base here for Emma Beecham.
Here comes Coach Donnie Hartman out to talk to his defense. Looks like the Commodores may have flip-flopped DeMonkus and Hone, because that was definitely Hone out there. Looked like she kind of took a bad angle at the ball and let it roll to the wall.
Talk about this Frazier team. Of course, a ton of success. 14-3 in the regular season, 11-0 in section play. But, close games that were, they had a lot more lopsided games than close ones.
Yeah, for sure.
A couple one-run games with Charleroi and a 2-run game with Carmichael's.
If anybody's surprised, the Pirates are losing 4-0. 4-2 game here, though. Emma Beecham steps in, struck out swinging and doubled. 1 out here in the inning, and a run about 60 feet away.
Beecham, an RBI double in her last at bat. She's 1 for 2 in this one.
That one, good job by Jensen Hartman to block that.
Yeah, with this backstop, if that gets through, it's a run for sure.
Without a doubt.
We saw the pass ball earlier that cost Sarah Catholic in their first-round game with Olsh.
1-1 pitch, little pop-up. Hartman's not going to get that one next to the fence here in front of us.
Great hustle there by Jensen Hartman.
She jumps out of that.
Very quick.
Crouch quick. I guess that's all that volleyball. All-state volleyball player and, plays travel. So she gets out of that crouch pretty quick. 1-2. Ground ball past the third baseman Warnick and into left field for an RBI single as the Panthers make it 4-3.
3 hits off Palmer here in the 6th inning. RBI double by Rosenberger, now an RBI single by Beecham. It's a 1-run game, 4-3, as Braylee Zappia comes to the plate. Doesn't have an official at bat so far.
Yeah, walking a sack bunt. 0 for 0.
0 for 0.
Could see another sack bunt in her future here.
I think she's might want to be 1 for 1.
And the other thing that does is, say these next 2 batters come up, you're going to get your top of your order up in a potential top of the 7th. So, great job here. There's a bunt pushed foul. 1-1.
Not a bad idea at all, especially with Zappia's speed.
Yeah, she was near first base by the time anybody got to that ball. 1-1.
Confidence building for this Riverside lineup against the freshman Nicole Palmer. Good job to pull
the ball
away from that one.
A little groan from the Frazier bench. Thought they had another strike there. 2-1. Fouled back behind Hartman, 2-2. Jensen Hartman getting a workout back behind the plate.
Yes, she is. Can Riverside pull off an upset? We've already seen a couple of them.
A lot yesterday. There's a drive to left. Hahn is under it, makes the catch for the second out. Quickly into second.
Brings up Maddie Fryer, and you mentioned it, Jeremy, in 5A, number 13 Connellsville with an upset win, and then, of course, in 3A, number 11 Elwood City, a school that has made a habit out of getting some upsets in the postseason. Of course, the WPIL champions in boys basketball.
And line drive by Fryer, snagged by Warnick for the third out. On the hard line drive to get the Commodores out of the inning. But we have a few runs there for the Panthers. 2 runs on 3 hits. 1 left on base as we get ready to head to the bottom of the 6th. Commodores still leading 4-3. As the Commodores have 8-9-1 due up. It'll be DeMoncus, Hahn, and Hartman coming up here for Frazier.
I think if you're the Commodores, you need to score in this inning. You need to get some more insurance here, especially, like you mentioned it, Jeremy, this Riverside team has their top of their order coming up here in the top of the 7th.
I mean, although if you don't, say you go down 3 in order, you're going to have 2, 3, 4 poised for your bottom of the 7th.
Right.
So, but I'm sure Coach Hartman would definitely like to get 3 outs in the next inning.
I think he just wants to see them hit here, and then put the bats away. The bats might go in the bus after this half inning.
Coach Hartman having a little discussion with the home plate umpire here, as there was no catcher here for the Panthers.
Starting the bottom of the inning for Frazier, the left fielder.
Sarah Kath leaves the bases loaded in the 5th, but still leading Fort Cherry 4-2 heading into the 6th inning. In that one at Peterswood Park. Winner of that game will play Friday. Here's DeMoncus. Takes ball 1 outside, walked in her last at bat. 1 for 1 with a single. It may not seem like much, but that's a big contribution from the freshman. Takes ball 2 a little bit high. 2-0 on Claire DeMoncus here to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Takes a strike there. Fouled away, make even the count at 2.
DeMoncus 1 for 1 with a walk and a run scored.
Two pitch coming to Claire DeMoncus. Takes strike 3 looking. DeMoncus is the first out of the inning. Now to be Skylar Hahn here. She had a little soft liner to right field. Take strike 1. Silence that. Ooh. 1-1 now after the low pitch there from Rosenberger.
On 0 for 2, grounded back to the pitcher in the 2nd. Flied out to right in the 4th.
There's a little tweener off the glove of Fetter. And Hahn is on. And here comes the top of the Commodores lineup.
Number 33.
And that'll go as a single. Tough play there for Fetter to make over the shoulder for
Very
sure.
high pitch that Hahn went after.
Yeah. Now to be Hartman 1 for 3 single and reached on the error by Schmidt on the deep fly ball to center. Takes strike 1. Oh and 1. Takes strike 2. Hahn slides into second with a stolen base. But 2 strikes on Jensen Hartman now.
She's racing side by side with the second baseman to get over to second base.
Yeah.
A runner in scoring position for Hartman.
0 and 2. There's one fouled back, and we mentioned it early on. Hartman doesn't strike out much.
Yeah, she's always fighting with 2 strikes.
Yeah, she's going to hang in there and get the bat on the ball.
She has reached twice and scored 2 runs.
It's the 0-2 pitch. Up high, 1 and 2. She leaned out of the way of that one.
Nice waist pitch there by Samantha Rosenberger.
I think her dad just told her to wear that one. It was head high.
It won't hurt that much.
They got a helmet. There's ball 2, down and away.
Hartman getting back into this count. Was at 0-2 at one point. 2 straight balls from Rosenberger.
It's a big run out there on second. And there's a shot to the gap to right center field. Here comes Hahn around third. She's going to score. There goes Hartman pulling into second with a double, and the Commodores extend the lead to 5-3. Great piece of hitting there by Jensen Hartman.
These Hartmans perform in the playoffs.
Yes, they do.
That's just what they do. Jensen Hartman, a 2 for 4 day here. She's reached 3 times and drives in a big insurance run to make it 5-3 Frazier.
Now it's Madison Bednar, 1 for 3. And there's a shot to deep to center. Schmidt makes the catch. Hartman's going to tag. And she'll move to third. Hard shot there by Bednar. Just played perfectly by Schmidt.
Kind of surprised Riverside didn't at least throw it to second and see if Hartman left early.
He's close. And now it's
Yeah,
Wyszynski.
even if you think that she didn't, you know, what's the
Try,
harm?
why
in it?
not?
Umpire might have saw something that
Wyszynski 2 for 3. Takes a ball. Had an RBI single in her last at bat. And another big run here 60 feet away. There's a strike.
got to give credit to Skylar Hahn. What she was able to do getting on base there, setting it up for Jensen Hartman. Gets on with a single, steals a base, and scores on a double.
Nice job by Wyszynski. Lay off that high pitch. 2-1 now on the Commodore shortstop. 5-3 Frazier leads here in the bottom of the 6th. Ball 3 on Wyszynski. Riley Evans waiting on deck.
Evans 1 for 3 with an RBI. You know she wants to capitalize on a opportunity to bring in another run.
3-1 pitch coming from Rosenberger. There's a shot, foul, down the third base side. Wyszynski was just off of that one a little bit. 3-2. I'm sure Riley Evans would like the chance to get up after her last at bat. She knows she swung at a bad pitch, and Rosenberger's going to ask for another ball. Wyszynski steps in after a little chuckle with catcher Matty Fryer. 3-2 pitch coming. Fouled back right into the chest protector of Fryer.
Take some time here. The ump looks like he took a piece of that one.
He will. That's Coach Hartman right on that.
Yeah, Matty
calls Wyszynski down, and Fryer goes out to see Rosenberger. Let the ump catch his breath.
Good job by the two girls there, knowing he needs some time.
See, that's an unwritten rule I can get behind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's sportsmanship.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Don't throw a meatball down the center of the plate, though, and
47 miles an hour.
Expect a 370 hitter to not hit it on the ballpark. I'll talk about that on Sunday.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, check out Sunday's podcast.
3-2 on Tori Wyszynski. Jensen Hartman at third. And there's a shot right to the right fielder, and Zappia makes the catch, ranging to her left. And that'll do it for the Commodores. They do pick up an insurance run on the RBI double from Jensen Hartman. 1 run on 2 hits. And 1 left on base. And last chance here for the Panthers, trailing 5-3 as we head to the 7th. It'll be Stormy Fetter, Mia Williams, and Taryn Schmidt. 9-1-2 due up here for the Panthers.
And we'll just take a second here to thank all of our sponsors here of MVI Live. And we want to show some appreciation for the folks at Trib Live High School Sports Network for their partnership and taking us on as an affiliate. Very much appreciated their support. Also, thank you to Perked Up Cafe, the home of the Valley Sports Guys podcast. Thank you to Lawn and Spa by Cheney's Natural, Foster House 2 in Bell Vernon, and of course, Brian Warnick's State Farm Insurance. Going to the 7th inning, Frazier an opportunity to move on to the quarterfinals. Of course, the winner of this game gets the winner of Apollo Ridge, Shar Houston, on Monday.
Do we have any score on that? We can do a little research.
Take a look.
Here. Fetter steps in, 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts for the Riverside shortstop. Ball outside as Palmer looks to notch a complete game and move to 11-0 on the season.
She's battled through some adversity here tonight.
Swing and a miss. And definitely, you know, the number 9 hitter, you've already struck her out twice. This is a batter. You want to send 3 across the plate and see if you can get another strikeout. Lays off the rise, 2-1. 5-3 Commodores. The number 3 seed leading number 14 Riverside. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Two and 2 on Stormy Fetter. Palmer gets her grip. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 looking. Fetter 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. But now it's the top of the order. Mia Williams 1 for 3 with a double. Has flown out and grounded out as well. Here's the first pitch to Williams. Popped up behind us. Foul.
I don't even look up. I just wait for it to come down.
You just hope it doesn't crash into your computer or something?
Just hope. You know. I'd rather it not crash into my computer.
Right, of course.
My head, that's fine.
0-1. There's a fly ball to center. Felsher ranging back. Makes the catch for the second out.
Commodores 1 out away from a trip to the Class 2A quarterfinals.
Let's see if we can get a read on the other game to see who won that game. Chartiers Houston 12, Apollo Ridge 2 in 5 innings. There's a ground ball. Palmer bobbles it over to Evans for the final out of the game. And Frazier will advance to face Chartiers Houston in the quarterfinals. No runs, no hits, no errors in the top of the 7th
Please drive home safely.
for the Panthers. And the Commodores move on. Great job by Nicole Palmer to stay with that ball and make the play to Evans. Final line score here from Davis Field. Frazier, 5 runs on 10 hits, no errors. Riverside, 3 runs on 7 hits, 3 errors. And the Commodores will move on. We'll look at the stats real quick. Big days for the Commodores. Jensen Hartman, 2 for 4. Double, a single, and an RBI. Tori Wyszynski also 2 for 4 with 2 singles. And RBIs by Hartman, Wyszynski, Evans, and Warnick.
I think the biggest part, Jeremy, Claire DeMoncus 1 for 2, Skylar Hahn 1 for 3.
Yeah.
But both of them scored runs coming up in that 8-9 spot and being able to get on base. That's big for the Commodores.
Right.
That's going to be big going forward, especially against a tough Char Houston team on Monday. And Jeremy, it looks like two fellow champions are going to be in action on Monday.
Yeah. Claire DeMoncus and Hahn, you mentioned, both scored runs. That's big for the Commodores, and that's something I'll be asking Coach Hartman about here when I go talk to him. But, again, congratulations to Frazier. Congratulations to Riverside on a great season.
Yeah, and for Riverside, Sydney Hale, a 2 for 3 game as well. Emma Beecham, 2 for 3 and 2 RBIs. Those two were really key for Riverside. And, 7 hits, the 3 errors. Those really proved costly.
For sure.
A solid pitching performance, by Rosenberger. She gave up 5 runs, only 2 earned, only 1 strikeout, but was efficient throughout the night. 6 solid innings for her.
And for Nicole Palmer, gets the win, now 11-0 on the season. Could there be a postseason award in her future? We will see. 9 strikeouts, like you mentioned, 7 in the first 3 innings. And 8 of them were swinging.
Yeah.
She did scatter the 7 hits, but again, these two teams are pretty similar. It's the middle of the orders. That's what you have to watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
And a great job by the Commodores to pull this one out. 5-3 winners, and they'll move on to the quarterfinals to face a familiar foe in Chartiers Houston. So that game will be Monday. And like you said, EF gets started on Monday, so we'll see where the brackets lead us here on MVI Live. But that'll do it for us here from Davis Field at North Allegheny. For Assistant Sports Editor Jose Negron, I'm Mon Valley Independent Sports Editor Jeremy Slew. Forgot my name there for a second.
Yep.
Signing off here on MVI Live on the Trib High School Sports Network.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.